foolish mortals.
Hello there. Are you insane? Get out of here!
Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened.
Right, off you go.
Welcome to Average Joe Orlando. Ho ho ho, theme park goers. See what I did there? Clever. Welcome to another episode of Average Joe Orlando. Today we're going to deep dive Universal Orlando's holiday offerings. Now I have already discussed Disney's holiday offerings as well as SeaWorld's, and I think I just saved my favorite for last. Now I did discuss how Disney's was more upsell events that you have to go to if you want to do a lot of their Christmas things. SeaWorld, I discussed how I do love it, and it's probably the best thing that SeaWorld does. But Universal, I just love a lot of the stuff that they do over there, and a lot of things are in the price of admission. So let's deep dive where it started, where it's going, and where it is this year, because I already did get to go this year, get to experience it. It does start late November and runs through December 30th, and what's cool is all their stuff basically runs every single day. They might have some tweaks, like the Red and Green Coconut Club might not have as much entertainment, and but their parade goes on every day. A lot of their entertainment, their special events, it's basically full-on Christmas mode for about 6 weeks. So let's talk about it. I'm going to start, though, with the Universal's Holiday Parade featuring Macy's. So in 2002, Macy's partnered with Universal originally, and they brought their balloons and floats from New York City to Orlando for their Macy's Holiday Parade. And then they performed it daily. They had the iconic Santa float. They had like clowns, basically balloon handlers. It was basically like a mini version of their Macy's parade. However, in 2017, the Macy's Holiday Parade was renamed to Universal's Holiday Parade featuring Macy's, and that's the parade that has been going on. And I remember I went that first year, and I was like, oh, this is even better. They added all new floats. The same company that made the floats or the balloons for Macy's made all new ones for Universal, featuring the Minions and Shrek characters and all new soundtrack, which I love the soundtrack. It's very laid back. We actually brought a friend with us who is a diehard Disney fan to see it for the first time. And they're like, oh, I like this more than Disney. And I was like, yes, I converted another person to the Universal side. Because that's how I feel. I just love it. And I love what they do. And I love what they're continuing to do. And overall, I love their Christmas events. And they have so much going on. For the night that I went, I only got to see half of it because there's 2 parks of it plus City Walk. And things change every year. Some things bring back the same, which is always fun because I think that's part of traditions, that we love doing the same things every year. I know that I get to go see the same parade and I'll stand in my same spot every year. And I know the music will click on and you get that same feeling. But then they also have new things where the tribute store changes every year, and the Red and Green Coconuts Club, where I can go to the Wizarding World and I can get my hot butter beer and see Celestine Warbeck sing the same songs each Christmas. So it's some of that familiar that you love as well as some of that new that every year that brings you back. Because it does get old after a while of doing the exact same thing. Looking at you, very Merry Christmas party at Disney. But it's also fun that they change things over here at Universal and some things change up. And it's also nice that it's all included with your park ticket. So you really don't have to stress and say, oh my gosh, I didn't get to see this today. No, you can go back another day or you could skip it. I know I have not watched the Grinchmas show in a few years just because I've seen it. I'm good. Other people like to see it every year. That's not my thing as much. But this year I want to go back because it's been a few years. So it's fun to rotate it, as well as their merchandise, which we will get into. But I was trying to figure out where to start. And I think the best place to start is Christmas in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So they do like to decorate their whole park. However, the Harry Potter land, or lands, I should say, both get really decorated. So they get the festive decor. If you go around Diagon Alley, you'll notice there's special things in the garland, like around the Weasleys area. For their shop, they'll have little rockets. They'll also even have over in Nocturne Alley all the dead wreaths. So evil wizards like to decorate too. And they'll do their projection show back in the other park. So over in Hogsmeade in Islands of Adventure, they'll do their projection Christmas show. Now, this happens numerous times a night. It's kind of a continuous one. There'll be a little break in between just to like rotate the crowds through because it is a very tight area. But a great little way to end off your night is seeing the Christmas projections on the castle. There's also 2 shows that convert, and I love that they do this with a lot of their shows at Universal, but they'll convert their shows into like a Christmas theme. So over in Hogsmeade, you have the Frog Choir, and the Frog Choir will come out, but then do more holiday songs. And then over in Diagon Alley, you have Celestine Warbeck, which is my favorite performer, I should say, in group. That's over in Diagon Alley on the stage, and she'll do different Christmas songs, like My Baby Got Me a Hippogriff for Christmas. Might be one of my favorites. And it snows during it. You can't beat that. So get your hot butter beer and go enjoy Christmas in the Wizarding World. There's also other shows that they'll do around the park, which they'll convert to more of a Christmas show. The Blues Brothers, which has been going on since day one. That show, it has a Christmas overlay. There's also going to be the Beat Builders, which across from the Fast and the Furious, they do a Christmas overlay show also. And then throughout the park, everything will just be so decorated, overdone, get the lights. Hopefully the park's open late, because if you go over to Hollywood, all the palm trees have all the lights on them. And down by Hollywood, by Cafe La Bamba, during the day, they'll bring out the different floats from the holiday parade at night and the different characters to do random meet and greets. So it's no set time. They don't advertise it. But later on in the day, how I see it as to finish their shifts, they just don't come in for just that parade. They'll do different meet and greets. So you can see Puss in Boots or the Minions and all the different floats and characters up close, which is always fun and kind of like one of those surprise and delight moments that the parks do so well. So a lot of great things going on over there. As I said, with entertainment, all that going on, but merchandise. There's a lot of great merchandise happening. Every season, they do change a lot of their merchandise. They do very heavy Earl the Squirrel this year. And I guess I haven't spoken about Earl on this. So if you remember like Little Boo over for Halloween Horror Nights being the mascot, Earl is this one. Earl is based on a real squirrel that was found in the tree over at Universal. So across from the Macy shop by Mummies, there's a giant tree, and there was a squirrel that was living in there that would chew through all the wires, and they named him Earl. So a few years ago, they started doing more merchandise with Earl the Squirrel and talking about the legend of Earl, since this was a real squirrel. Then they started doing character meet and greets with him too, to get to meet him. And now they actually went full circle, and there's Earl merchandise that you could buy. Earl's sweater. It has like I Heart Acorns. And inside the tribute store this year, there's a whole Earl the Squirrel room. There's an Earl the Squirrel book. And really have just leaned into Earl the Squirrel, which is a hard one to say, Earl the Squirrel. They even made a new character, Pearl, last year. People thought it was his girlfriend, but we asked Earl, and Earl confirmed it's his sister, not his girlfriend. And it's definitely just his sister, not his sister and his girlfriend, in case you're wondering. But there's also another character as well. So that's where you can meet Earl and see him by the tree. There's also going to be the tribute store. So now the tribute store, I've discussed this for other events on this channel, is one of my favorite things. They rotate it constantly and change it out. So the tribute store this year is a bookstore theme. It's located next to the Mummy, so in the Mummy Extended Queue, where they had the Halloween one this year. And this is a bookstore, and you're going to start off coming in to a Wizarding World, and it's more of Christmas in Hogsmeade and different pop-up books, different things you could walk through. And then after that, there's going to be the Grinch area, where it has different projections, and it has the fuzzy like things that some of those children books have, where you could touch and feel like, oh, this is what the Grinch would feel like, or this is what Max feels like. And then the next room is going to be Earl, and do a whole Earl the Squirrel room, and then ending over with their more like Coca-Cola Christmas, like traditional Christmas. Not as exciting on that one. I will say, not my favorite tribute store they ever did. However, it's fun because it changes every year. They have special treats in there. There's treats throughout the park that you could eat. However, they have a lot of themed treats in that tribute store that you can get as well. And it's just a fun store to get to go through and kind of look at everything, see all the Easter eggs they hide from other stores, as well as all the new merchandise. So Universal has released a lot of new merchandise this season, and as I mentioned, it's very heavy on Earl this year, and there's a lot of fun Easter eggs in a lot of theirs. So there's one where it's a Jack in the Box, and it's Jack the Clown from Halloween Horror Nights, which is a fun little Easter egg that they put in there. They also have another one where you look, and on the Christmas tree, there's the Amber from Jurassic Park. The dog is Einstein from Back to the Future. There's a hoverboard gift underneath the tree. There's going to be a lot of little things. There's the Orca, which is the boat from Jaws, obviously, on the on the mantle. So there's a bunch of little Universal Easter eggs that they threw in there also. Now, with the parade happening, too, we'll talk about the parade next, they don't have the current mega movie parade. That one won't return until April, it says on the app. The mega movie parade was excellent. I did talk about it in my Summer at Universal episode that came out earlier this year. And that won't come back till April, and you're probably like, but Christmas is over in January. Well, so after Christmas, it'll be Mardi Gras coming up in, I believe it's early February for about 2 months. And then after Mardi Gras is over is when Mega Movie will start again, kind of in late spring, getting ready for the summer. So Mega Movie will be returning next year. And it actually kicked off with, if kind of sidebarring here, 2 more floats. So they added the Ecto 1, I think. I only know Ecto by the Ecto Cooler, the green high C drink, but they added the car from Ghostbusters, and they also added a Raptor paddock as well. So even added more since it opened, and I talked about it last. So a lot to see at Universal. It was an interesting year at Universal in general, just because they kind of cut back because all their money's going towards Epic. So going to have a lot to talk about next year with Epic Universe opening, and then curious to see what they're going to add or change at their current parks now that Epic will be done. But going back to the parade, nightly parade. So I kicked off this episode talking about how it started and how it's going. So I'm going to read the blurb from their blog. For most, watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is an annual tradition. Seeing it in a person has been on my bucket list. This is the guy writing it for the Universal blog. Has been on my bucket list for some time. Fortunately, I previewed the experience as a spectacular Universal as a spectator of Universal's Holiday Parade featuring Macy's. For years, the creative geniuses at Universal Orlando and Macy's have partnered to bring larger-than-life parade balloons to the streets of New York. At Universal Studios, Florida. Along with the classic Macy's Star balloons, viewers can expect to see minions from Illumination's Despicable Me, the characters from DreamWorks and Animation's Shrek and Madagascar films, plus over 100 festive entertainers, including Santa Claus. There's even a special Florida snowfall finale, spoiler alert, and a lot of confetti. There's always different places that you can watch it. It does a full loop. It does basically the same loop as all their other parades. So if you really want to watch it twice, you can stand by Mel's and watch it twice. Also, the Christmas tree area, that's where I like to watch. Santa will light up the tree. And then before the parade, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the performers will come out, not only in the Hollywood section, but a lot of them come by the tree, and you can meet them over there. They have the robot couple. It's like a purple. I'm assuming they're a couple. Maybe they're siblings like Earl and Pearl. I don't know. But they come and they walk around the streets also, and got to meet them one year. That was definitely a bucket list kind of item, getting to meet the robots. So a lot to do over there at Universal. And that's all just when I mentioned the parade and the tribute store and Celestine Warbeck and Diagon Alley. That's all on Universal Studios side, so the one park side. The other side has Hogsmeade, so that's where you can get the nighttime projection show. But the other side, which is Islands of Adventure, really leans into Grinchmas. And it's a very heavy Grinch-themed Hula Day over there. So over there you have Grinchmas, which features the Grinchmas Hula Day Spectacular, which is a live retelling of the classic Tale of the Grinch, and there's music by Mannheim Steamroller. In years past, Mannheim Steamroller has come out to the parks. This year they are not doing concerts. They did do free concerts. Not this year, unfortunately. But the show is still going on, and over at that side in the Seuss Landing, the Who's walk around. So during the day, you could see them walking around, and they'll do meet and greets, they'll sing, and then you go see the show, which is in one of the sound stages, kind of like where I believe it's where Blue Man Group used to be, and it's this live stage show that happens numerous times during the day. You have to get there early, but it is free with your park admission. They also do a meet and greet with the Grinch. Now, I met the Grinch years ago, and I'm talking like years ago, like before TikTok, because it used to be just in a gift shop. You can meet the Grinch, the Jim Carrey version, and he would roast you and be really funny. But social media kind of made him blow up, and now everybody really wants to meet the Grinch, and the lines get very long, because it's not just a walk in and take a picture, thanks so much Grinch piece. It's he kind of roasts you, makes fun of you, you can have fun with him and banter, so it is a longer, more of an experience. However, it is just a general standby line. They tried a reservation system a few years back, and it didn't really work. It was just a little chaotic. So there is a meet and greet with him. But the best way to meet him, I would say, well, there's two options, and there are upsells. You could either do the Grinch breakfast, and they do a Grinch breakfast where you can meet Grinch, Max, which worth the price of admission alone, and then you can meet some of the Who's and have a breakfast over in Seuss Landing. From what I saw, it is sold out already for this year. That's how popular that one is, but there could still be some more. And then there's the tour, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But great place to just go walk around, especially since if that's an area that you normally skip a Seuss Landing. I know I usually beeline it and do the little cut through. But it's kind of fun to walk through, and you get to stroll with the Who's, talk about them, meet the Grinch, and then they also have the Grinch and Friends character breakfast over at the Circus McGurkus Cafe Stupendous. I should have warmed up before I started this one. Whew. They also, as I mentioned, have the holiday tour. So this started a few years ago, and this is an add-on thing that you could also do similar to the breakfast. And you can do all these same things for the most part for your price of admission with your annual pass or whatever it is. However, this will kind of expedite it and be a little bit easier. So I'm going to read you the description. With all the fun offered at Universal Orlando Resort, how can you possibly experience it all? With an annual pass. The Universal Holiday Tour has you covered. For roughly 4 hours, you'll embark on a guided tour through the beloved holiday experiences across both Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure. Along the way, you'll get to meet the Grinch and his faithful companion, Max. So that's one of those things that you can't normally do. You can meet the Grinch if you want to wait in a long line, but you kind of get to just walk up, meet the Grinch, but you get to meet Max. And if you don't know who Max is, first off, how dare you? And secondly, Max is the Grinch's dog, who's adorable and wears antlers, and he's a real dog, and you get to meet him. You get to watch the Grinchmas Hula Day Spectacular from reserved seating, so you don't have to wait in line. You get to see the show. They have small plates, desserts, and non-alcoholic beverages. And from what I've watched on YouTube this year, they have 2 spots, a savory option during the day, and then you go later to more of a sweet option later on. And this reminds me of when I did the RIP tour at Universal, where they'll have like a lot of the food experiences throughout the park for free. That's included. So that's a great deal. You could meet Santa Claus, and then that's another one similar to Max where you can't normally meet Santa during the day. You could wave to him, but he doesn't do meet and greets in the park. You can get a priority attraction to an attraction at Universal. I did see online that it was Minion Blast they did, so don't go banking on this thinking you're going to ride Hagrid. You're not. And then you get to do an after-hour showing of the Magic of Christmas at Hogwarts. So that's nice, too, because they do an after-hours, because during the day it is very busy, and they do bring you backstage. So if you're a normal guest going through both parks, you have to go out the front, through, come back. This one kind of pops you in and out backstage, and the parks are relatively close, so not as much walking as you would normally think. So let's talk about some of the stuff for food and shopping. So for shopping, the Park Plaza, the holiday shop that's open year round at Universal, has all the ornaments, and then the Port of Entry Christmas shop over at Islands, as well as most of the other shops will have everything. There is a little mistletoe pines kind of looking area out at City Walk where you can get all the merchandise. It's all the same stuff everywhere you go, so nothing like you have to go to this one. For food, they have some special offerings over at not the red coconut, what am I talking about? The Voodoo Donuts, they'll have one. So it says they have gingerbread, peppermint chocolate, and cinnamon flavored. Let's see what else they have. Most restaurants across the theme parks and hotels have seasonal menu, food, and drink creations. But you can count on specialty donuts, holiday snacks, and treats like chocolate bombs, cocktails, and different holiday fixins at everything. And one of my favorite things that they have this year is going to be the Green and Red Coconut Club. So they did this 2 years ago, and they did a great job. Last year, they kind of scaled back for some reason, and I don't know if it's because the Dead Coconut Club was such a success this year. This year, they really dumped a lot of money into this. So my experience goes as follows. The Green and Red Coconut Club is located at the Red Coconut Club, and they did a theme. And this year it's Mistletoe Pine Ski Lodge. And the night that I went, they had actors walking around as like streetmosphere kind of. And the guy playing the guitar, and he's like, "Oh, how many years have you been coming here? This is my family's favorite winter vacation. Let's go outside." And pretended to go outside, even though it was like in the main area, and let's sing some songs. And this girl came up, started talking to us, and turns out she was like a plant, an actor, and she starts singing, and everybody just starts singing Christmas carols all around. There are so many lights all over this whole place. It looks fantastic. They have these snow globes that have words in them, And then they have specialty drinks. So downstairs they have specialty drinks, and then upstairs they have a different bar with different specialty drinks. And then they also have a fun themed photo op down there that looks like you're skiing. They also have a whole white elephant section with all these like junk games and toys that you would get at a white elephant that they did a lot of fun creativity with it, and all different fun drinks. Two best surprises. Upstairs is supposed to be Earl's Tree Farm. So we went upstairs to Earl's Tree Farm, looked over, all of a sudden Earl the squirrel himself comes around the corner, and he did a meet and greet upstairs. Never have seen Earl the squirrel outside the park, and you can meet him at this bar. And the bar's not just for 21 and over. It's 21 and over if you want to drink. However, I don't drink, and they have a lot of great mocktails. I got to try 2. And they had one downstairs, and I think they had 2 upstairs, so I tried 2 different ones. So you get to meet Earl the squirrel, and then outside on the balcony, where it looks over City Walk, is always a great place. Not many people know. They actually have games out there that you could play for free. They have axe throwing with a Velcro version of axes. They have one of those giant like peg things that you play if you go to Cracker Barrel. That ring one where you have to throw the ring and try to get it on the hook. So they have all different like fun like outdoorsy kind of games to play, all for free. So definitely a fun place to go. They definitely have different entertainment. I've seen they have a band there. The night that we went, they had the guitarists and the singers. But it was just so Christmassy and just an overall fun vibe with holiday drinks, Earl the Squirrel, music, tons of lights, games. We spent a few hours there. So great way to end the day at Universal. And so much to see and do over there. Like I said, I only got to see one park's worth of it. So however you want to do it, if you want to do one day and you could do the tour and see everything, if you want to go to the breakfast, if you want to wait in line to see the Grinch, literally they have something for everybody. So whatever you're into, you could do it. Or you could just go and enjoy the parks and the atmosphere and the food. And then you can go over to the bar. There is just so much to do over here. And if you don't want to spend any extra money on top of your park ticket, you don't have to enjoy it. So something I love about it also. I know for me personally, I will be back. And I will get to see more stuff. I still have a lot more on my list, including Hot Butterbeer, Celestine Warbeck, and the Magic of Hogwarts Christmas. I want to see all that. Plus, I haven't been on Hagrid in a while. I need to ride Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure because that's such a great ride. So lots to do. Hopefully you get a chance to go check it out. I know I can't recommend it enough. And I will see you, hopefully, at the parks.
Thanks for taking a ride with Average Joe Orlando.
You made it!
I knew you would. Is everyone okay? Hope you still want to open an account.
Say cheese! See you later!
Thanks, everybody. You were brilliant.
At this time, gather up your personal belongings and take your small grubs by their grubby little hands as you exit. Thank you.